Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, friends. Welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see on the screen, we are going to take a look at Allen Edmonds and some new offerings that they have available on their website. This is actually a re-recording of the video that I actually made about a week ago. And the reason for the change is because a sale came about, and I wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that so that you can, if you're in the market for some shoes, sneakers, boots, or what have you, you'll know that Allen Edmonds has a sale going on right now. So what initially prompted the video last week was I was browsing the website and they had some new offerings. The first one being what they call dress sneakers. Okay. And it sounds just exactly what it sounds like. It's a dress shoe upper on a sneaker sole. And as of right now, they have two offerings. One is the Strand model, which of course is their Strand Oxford. This is what it looks like. I'm not too fond of it. I think it's a little much for a sneaker, but it's in walnut black and in a bone suede. That is the Strand, which I think is one of their most popular models that they sell. I lean more towards this one, which is the Park Avenue. It's a little more minimalist, and as you can see, it comes in chili and in black. As of right now, those are the two color options that I see that are offered, and as you can tell, it's their their classic cap toe Oxford on a sneaker, in a sneaker version. And as far as I know, I think Allen Edmonds may be the only brand that offers something like this. Their dress shoe on it as made as a sneaker. But if you guys are aware of any others, you can let me know. So that is the dress sneaker. Now, the thing that really caught my eye was the boots. And I have a pair of Chelsea boots, this Liverpool model in walnut, and I had been wanting to get a black pair. Well, really, I've been wanting to get a pair of Chukkas because I don't have any Chukkas in my collection. So I came to the website initially to look for some Chukkas, but they have these new offerings, so I decided to look at the new offerings, and there's a couple of them caught my eye. But one is the Landon here, and it is a cap toe. This particular version is in walnut. It's actually walnut, and they call this part dark walnut. And that's it's a grain on the heel and the toe. That's the Landon. And it comes in different colors, of course, chili with the brown toe and heel. And then they have a solid mahogany color here. Get out of there. Solid mahogany color there. There's also a couple of wool versions, one olive wool and one charcoal wool that's available. But the boot that really caught my eye was the one called the Lombard. And since it's not on the screen, I'll just type it in. This is the Lombard, and it's a Chelsea. This is in black. This is what I was looking at. And as you can see, it's a little bit different. It has a cap on it, has some broguing on the cap and around this, some brogue detailing surrounding the elastic. Has like this little cutaway. So it has some interesting design. Day-night sole. It's pretty cool. And of course, it has different color options. You have walnut. There's always going to be a walnut when it comes to Allen Edmonds, no doubt about it. And then you have Merlot, which is like a dark burgundy. Okay, so that is a Chelsea. Now, as you can see, when I first did the video, the price was $495, but right now, it's $150 off. So $345 is the price of the boot. So now would be a good time to purchase. Now, having looked at all that, let's take a closer look. Okay, so here we have the aforementioned Lombard. And we'll take a look at them. I will give you my thoughts and my opinions. And this is just an exterior look. It's the 360 view. And I'm going to give you some details here in a second about, having my thoughts and my opinions on the boot. And of course, I have for comparison the Liverpool in walnut. Okay, we'll come back to that. Quality, leather soft. The stitching and the broguing all appears to be up to snuff. Nothing sticks out major as a quality issue. The punching seems to be even. Stitching seems to be even. Leather has a nice sheen to it out the box. And one thing I noticed here on in this detail here, where this piece of leather meets this piece of leather, this is on top of this one. You can actually see the edge of this leather sort of coming through. This is on the outside of the left boot, and this is on the inside of the left boot. On this boot, it seems to be pretty even on both sides. But on the right boot, you can see it's protruding a little bit more underneath. So that kind of sticks out to me. But this is the inside of the boot. But on the outside, it's barely noticeable. It's like even almost with the stitching. It may not be that big a deal, but if I noticed it, one of the first things I noticed when I picked it up and looked at it, and these are regularly priced $500 boots, so you would expect a little minor detail like that to be handled. Just cutting off the excess material here to make sure it lines up with the seam and be that less noticeable. You would think that would go without saying. So the toe, you see the detail on the toe, the punching on the toe appears to be pretty good. Now, the overall size of the boot, to me, is a little bulky. One thing that lends to that, this toe cap on the toe is very long. It's very long, so it doesn't really elongate as far as the look to the eye. Let me see if I can scoop the camera back some. To the eye, because this is longer, it shortens the overall length of the top of the boot. Not to mention, it's already wide across the top compared to the Liverpool. I guess I could get a tape measure and get the exact measurements, but you can see that it is quite a bit difference. And one of the reasons is the last shape.
The last shape of this, the Liverpool, which is a 943B, it's a little more symmetrical. So it's a little more even on the left side and right side. So that gives the appearance that it's almost straight. So when it's on my foot, it looks, elongated. Whereas the 64 last, you can see it curves out quite a bit more on the outside of the foot. So this, and then they put the cap, right across the longest or the widest part of the shoe. And so that makes everything stretch this way instead of this way, side to side instead of up and down. Let's do a comparison with the Liverpool. Okay. So first, let's get a close-up shot here. Bring that down so we can get a direct look. Okay. For everything about this boot is bigger compared to the Liverpool. Okay. This is a Danite sole, so I would assume this is my first pair of Danite. So I would assume that they're all more chunky than say or more have a thicker than the leather soles. Okay, so that's fine. That's just taller than this one. But look at the back of the heel, the width, all the way up the shaft of the boot to the top. And you can see, compared to the Liverpool, it's a big difference. Especially at the mouth of the opening of the shaft here. Let's turn that one down. It's a huge difference. One more thing is the bottom of the pants probably comes around about here. Just, about here, I can see the elastic, and I can see this detailing. And to me, seeing that at the bottom of my pants, I don't like it. May be fine with jeans, but with some slacks on, trousers, I don't like this look at the bottom of the pants. It's different, but not in a good way. The inside, it's a little better for some reason. And it may, I don't know, but the outside, I don't like the look. I guess it's not as clean as I would like it. So there you have it, the Lombards. I will be returning these. I am not going to keep them. I need to find a store that has maybe the same in the walnut to see if the detailing is a little more acceptable to the eye for me. But overall, I do not like the Lombards. It's cool that they changed up, trying something new. It's cool. I like the idea of the cap and the punch, the broguing. But even just looking at this right here, you can see this is a long cap. It's just the boot is super bulky. Well, you can also see here, side by side, if I were to line them up, I have to get the camera angle right. But let's see if I can get it on even playing field here. I should put that one behind that one. Well, there you go. You can see the extra space, and there's not really space on the inside. The inside fits almost the same, but this, well, I guess it would make sense since you're stacking this on top of this, and you're stacking this on top of this, so that lends to extra material or building up the material. but to me, it's a little too much. Not as sleek as the Liverpool. All right, guys, here we go again. And as you can see, we are up now with the Landon model. I'm just, even though it's been days that's passed since that other video, that previous shoe boot that you saw, I decided to make it one video because as I explained, I would be returning that Lombard. So here's a look at the Landon. I went to the Allen Edmonds store to do the return, and they did have a pair that I could try on. So I tried them on, looked in the mirror. I liked the way they looked, and I ordered a pair. So here's a look at it. Nowadays when I'm looking at shoes, I'm really looking at the details. So, I'm looking at the color. Is the color even? Is the stitching even? Little stuff like this little break in whatever this is. I think this is like a piece of rubber or something, but there's a little break there. It's nothing to make or break the shoe. But you kind of want to look at the finer details because you're paying regular price $400, over $400 for these shoes and boots. So you want to make sure the quality is there. And again, with the walnut, you see a lot of variations in the color. It's not even everywhere. Even on the toe, which, you can say, okay, it gives it a more natural look. Like the shoe is, over time, it's developed its own patina, which is cool. But this, just pointing out some things out the box. You can see this part here is lighter than this part of the toe. Then I noticed on the other boot, it's a big darker spot here, and it's uneven. I think that's the thing that sticks out. It'd be different if it was almost like a burnishing where, this part forward of the toe was darker, but it's an uneven splotch. Looks like a birthmark. Maybe it is. Okay. So I just removed the laces out of here. You can see the insole. It has the shock form insole, handcrafted in America, fine imported leather. The leather is soft, feels nice. You can see the back here. You have the darker, this is the walnut, this color walnut, and they call this dark walnut. And the toe and the heel cap have a grain grain texture. It's real smooth though. It's up here it's a little rougher, but back here it's smooths out on the harder parts. Fit is wonderful. I like the fit when I tried them on. You can see the eyelets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyelets, and then you have the hook, 3 hooks up top. Fit was nice. The look was nice, and I give a shot here at the end with them on to let you see how they look. But I like them.